Good afternoon. This is Betty Shan. It's 88 degrees here in Carlsbad right now. There's a few clouds drifting around. I said, well, it'll be a day we'll get some rain because I've done watered. I got up this morning at 5 o'clock and watered my yard. So it'll probably rain today since I've got my yard good and wet. But anyway, we'll be thankful if we get some rain. So anyway, that's the way my life runs sometimes. After I do something, then things fall in place like they're supposed to. But I hope you've had a great day, and I've had several join, and I appreciate it. And I hope something is said today that'll lift your spirits, put a grin on your face, and make you have a better day. I got to thinking about a time we had it rough when we first got married. When we first got married, there was bills that was still out from my husband's first wife dying that we'd paid on them, but it's taken us forever to pay them, and we lived pretty tight right at first. And I'll never forget I had the girls, and I needed to go downtown to get a zipper or something to put in a dress. I done a lot of sewing, and I had worked at Woolsworth. That's where I worked when I got out of school. I went to work there, and I went to work during the Halloween season, and they kept me from then on. And but anyway, I went down to Woolsworth, and I went in and got whatever I needed, and I got the girls, and I started back and got in the car and went to start the car. And I'm telling you, I don't know what happened, but something happened, and my car caught on fire. And I had them two girls with me. Well, I got the girls out of the car and went in the store, and my manager of the store come out to see what was going on, and he brought a fire extinguisher with him. And he raised the hood of my car, and he said, oh, my word, said, part of the car's missing. And what had happened, Mr. Shan had worked on the car, and he didn't tell me he didn't put it all back together. And when I needed a zipper or thread or something that I needed to sew with, I just got in the car and went down there to get my thread, and my car caught on fire. So that's just the story of my life. It's always something like that, it just, and I come home and I told him, I said, that's one of the most embarrassing things in the world to me, that my boss found out I was driving the car, that all the car wasn't there. He had taken the breather off for some reason and had worked on it, and he didn't put it all back together. And he should have told me, but he didn't tell me. So I just needed something. So I just went on to down there and got what I needed, and was coming back home, and my car caught fire right in front of Woolworth, where I had worked for several years. But that's just the way life is sometimes. It seems like if you can get in an embarrassing moment, you'll get in it somewhere or another and be embarrassed by things that's happened. But I finally got to where I could go back in there without blushing and and feeling silly, because my husband had worked on my car and took my car apart and left me without telling me that he's working on the car to leave it alone. But life sometimes it seems like when you're down and things is going wrong, everything goes wrong. There's not just one thing that'll go wrong. There'll be two or three things that'll happen about the same time. And them times make you think and stop and think, what am I doing? But, we all have them times, and we all meet them places somewhere in life. And that's part of what makes us who we are, is some of these things that we went through. Now I can see a woman having car trouble, and I feel sympathy toward her, which at one time I might not even have felt sorry for her because I didn't have no trouble with my vehicles. But I know what it means to have to let things go till the paycheck comes in or you get the money to do something with it. You can't just go and do everything at one time. But I know a lot of times these younger wives, when they first get married, they expect everything to go so rosy. And things don't always go rosy. You burn the potatoes, or just like me the other night, I fixed a big old pot of potatoes, and I dropped the pot of potatoes in the middle of the floor. And that just happened while Connor was here. And I felt so foolish that I let a pot slip out of my hands and fall in the floor. And I boiled the potatoes, going to make mashed potatoes, and they ended up in the middle of the floor. But that's life, and that's what keeps us going. And sometimes we need these little interruptions to make us pray a little bit. I think that God's telling us we need to pray a while and get back and get our mind back on things it's better for us to think on than the things we were thinking on. So you lift your chin up. You have a good day and live for the Lord.